Gertrude McFuzz. There once was a girl bird named Gertrude McFuzz, and she had the smallest plain tail there ever was. One droopy droop feather, that's all that she had. And oh, that one feather made Gertrude so sad. For there was another young bird that she knew, a fancy young birdie named Lola Lulu, and instead of one feather behind, she had two. Poor Gertrude, whenever she happened to spy Miss Lola Lulu flying by in the sky, she got very jealous, she frowned and she pouted. Then one day she got awfully mad and she shouted, "This just isn't fair. I won, she has two. I must have a tail just like Lola Lulu." So she flew to her uncle, a doctor named Dick, whose office was high in the sky in a tree by the lake, and she cried, "Uncle Doctor, oh please do you know of some kind of pill that will make my tail grow?" "Tut, tut," said the doctor, "such talk, how absurd. Your tail is just right for your kind of a bird." Then Gertrude had a tantrum. She raised such a din that finally her uncle, the doctor, gave in, and he told her just where she could find such a pill, on a pillberry vine on the top of the hill. "Oh, thank you," chirped Gertrude McFuzz as she flew straight to the hill where the pillberry grew. Yes, there was the vine. As soon as she saw it, she plucked off a berry and she began to gnaw it. It tasted just awful, almost made her sick, but she wanted that tail, so she swallowed it quick. Then she felt something happen. She smelled a small twitch, as if she had been tapped down by a switch. And Gertrude looked round, and she cheered. It was true. Two feathers, exactly like Lola Lulu. Then she got an idea. "Now I know what I'll do. I'll grow a tail better than Lola Lulu. These pills that grow feathers are working just fine," so she nibbled another one off the vine. She felt a new twitch and Gertrude yelled, "Wee! Miss Lola has two, I have three. When Lola sees this beautiful stuff, she'll fall right down on her face, sure enough. I'll show her who's pretty, I certainly will. Why, I'll make my tail even prettier still." She snatched at those berries that grew on that vine. She gobbled down 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and she didn't stop eating young Gertrude McFuzz till she had eaten 3 dozen. That's all that there was. Then the feathers popped out with a zing. They blossomed like flowers that bloom in the spring, all fit for a queen, what a sight to behold. They sparkled like diamonds and gumdrops and gold, like silk, like spaghetti, like satin, like lace. They burst out like rockets all over the place. They waved in the air and they swished in the breeze, and some were as long as the branches of trees. They still kept growing. They popped and they popped until along and about sundown when they finally stopped. "And now," giggled Gertrude, "the next thing to do is to fly right straight home and show Lola Lulu. And when Lola sees these, well, her face will get red and she'll let out a scream and she'll fall down right dead." Then she spread out her wings to take off from the ground. But with all of those feathers, she weighed 90 pounds. She yanked and she pulled, but she couldn't let out a squawk. But that bird couldn't fly, couldn't run, couldn't walk. And all through that night she was stuck on the hill, and Gertrude McFuzz might still be up there still, if her good Uncle Dick hadn't heard the girl yelp. He rushed to her rescue and brought along help. To lift Gertrude up almost broke all their beaks, and to fly her back home it took almost 2 weeks, and then it took almost another week more to pull out those feathers. My, Gertrude was sore. And finally, when all of the pulling was done, Gertrude behind her again had just one, that one little feather she had as a starter, but now that's enough, because now she is smarter.